Hello everyone, I'm Karen, otherwise known as Wellies and Waffles, and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't done it already, if you could like and subscribe and click on the bell, and then you'll get notifications every time I post a video, which hopefully is going to be once a week, just to show you what's going on in the plot, what jobs need doing. I've just noticed some golden raspberries over there. Ooh, I'll be picking them later on. So I'm going to show you around the plot today, and we've got a few things that are still growing, some beans, kale, broccoli, so we'll have a look at those, show you what I've already done work-wise in it, because it does look slightly messy at the moment, but that's because of all the leaves of this humongous, I'll show you, humongous sycamore tree. There we go, dropping all its leaves, which I then collect and use as leaf mould for the compost, so it's all going to be used anyway. It just looks a bit of a mess. Let's go and have a look. So I'll show you this first. This is a new planter that I've got, and I sowed these a few weeks ago and they're looking fantastic, so I'll take you through what I'm growing. So let's have a closer look at these. We've got some Oriental mix, which I'll just put down the side what is actually growing there, because there's a few things going on, but the leaves are absolutely beautiful. The leaves on those. We've got Radicchio, which I've never grown before. I've got a few going on there. So I haven't just thrown on all the seeds. I've tried to do them in lines, but obviously with watering they can go a little bit all over the place. But yeah, this way you don't have to thin them out and then waste seedlings, because I can't stand wasting the seedlings. Here we have the freckles, which is a lettuce with a lovely pattern going on there, and these have grown over spring and summer and they've done really well. So I've started some off again, like I said, a few weeks ago, so mid-September, end of September I started these off again, and they are cold tolerant, so they should be right over autumn and winter. Then I have tried to sow some sunset lettuce, but I did try this over spring and summer and they haven't appeared, so I think the seeds must be not 100% viable actually. So we'll go on to the winter density. I keep saying destiny, I'm sure it's density, which is another lettuce which is doing really well. Look at that. And then we've got a radish that's ended up there, because in this section we've got lots of radish. So these ones are the Icicle, white Icicle radishes, and they're a long thin radish, which obviously looks like icicles. So what I've done is I've just added some, it's a really good compost, but what I've done is I've added some manure as well, because what they were doing is doing loads and loads of foliage, which is lovely, but they need phosphorus to actually fatten up, to actually get some radish. So I've put some manure on, hoping that they start to plump up, which they do look like they're starting to, if you can just see down there. This one's French breakfast, which is a lovely red and white radish. And then we move on to the Malaga purple, which as the name suggests is a purple radish. But as you can see some of them just really thin, not fattening up because not enough phosphorus in the soil. So I've just given them a little bit of an added boost really. You can use fish blood and bone if you want to, but maybe being a vegetarian, obviously I'm not eating it, but I try to not use you know, bones and blood and things like that in it, but manure, perfectly fine. Watermelon radish there. And we have the cherry bell. And lastly, right, I've just given it a little bit more space there, is the patio, and it's called Shangri-La. So looking really nice, all full, and as you can see I've got this frame so I can put a cover. It does come with a cover, so I'm going to cover it up when it gets really bad weather. So behind me here we've got the corn, sweet corn, which does need actually taking down now because I've harvested all that. Didn't get a brilliant harvest out of it, but again I think it's with the nutrients in the soil that's something's happening with that, so I do need to look into that. a little bit more, but we still have some of the curly scarlet kale, which is fantastic. I prefer that for making kale crisps and things like that, which is really good. And then we've got the purple sprouting broccoli. Both of these I am going to leave right through winter. They are the tough guys of the plot and don't need any looking after at all, I find. Just go right through, cold, wind, rain, hail, snow, everything, and they deal with it, and they're absolutely fine. So these will be right up until next May. Just then. I think we've got Bob the pigeon up in the tree who likes to sit there and watch what I'm doing. Just heard him. Oh. Let's get in. So as you can see, what I've been doing is I've just been clearing everything, and all this will go into some compost. And I've just been collecting any sort of spent plants, things like that. I mean, they've just had a field day on these of the snails, because what had happened is I did have them all here and I had built a cage for them, but obviously when the plum tree collapsed, everything just went all over the place. So things have started to eat them, so that's really, really good food anyway for the compost. That'd be brilliant. And then we've got the curly scarlet kale, which is just beautiful. Look at the colours. And I don't find that it gets bothered very much by pests. They seem to leave it alone. You will find little bits. I mean, do check when you've harvested it and you're just about to cook it up, do check, because they do like to hide. I've found little baby snails and things hiding inside them. But I mean, it's just beautiful, isn't it? And this I find is best for kale crisps because of the curliness and the crinkliness of the leaves. Just makes a really good crisp. A crisp. So yeah, look at the colours on those. So I just keep taking what I need, just a few leaves at a time. So here we've got some Cossé violet beans. As you can see, they start off green and then turn this beautiful purple here. I was really late in the day planting these plants. They've just been sat there in tiny pots for ages, so I wasn't hopeful actually of them doing anything, but they've done nicely. They are giving me some pods and they're climbing right up now. There they are, so they'll be nice. Green inside. You can save the seeds and use them again next year if you just leave them to dry out. When you cook them, they will turn green, so they don't stay this purple unless you just do them really, really quickly. So as you can see all the plums that have just fallen down and just rotted there. I've still got some of my pink chard. So these were my Brussels sprouts that have now been devoured because they were squashed and everything got to them. But I'll try again. There we go, the tops looks nice. And don't forget, when you're growing these, I mean, look, we've got some snails inside anyway, just having a field day. When you are growing them, you can eat the tops as well. They're actually supposed to be quite a delicacy. I've had them before and they're really, really nice. So you can just harvest the tops and have Brussels sprout tops. Which, look, they've left me there. They've eaten everything and just left me a little bit on top. Aren't they generous? I've got some outside strawberries and some ones that I have in the polytunnel. Look at the colours of the ones outside now. How beautiful is that? So I'm back in the house just doing some of the editing and completely forgot to do the filming of the end of the video, so I'm doing it now. So thank you very much for watching and hope to see you again next week, where I'm going to be doing some harvesting. I'm going to show you a few of the jobs that I'm going to be doing as well, and I might even show you some of the other part of the garden, because there's a few different areas in the vegetable patch. What you've seen so far is the polytunnel and the plot, and then we've got the herb garden. We've got a bit, well, I call it the orchard. It's just a line of fruit trees really, but there's 9 fruit trees, you can call it an orchard, so I've got an orchard. And raspberry forest, as I call it, because I did plant 75 raspberry canes at the beginning, 3 different varieties, and they've gone berserk, obviously, like raspberries do, and they've just sprouted up everywhere. So I've got absolutely tons of them down one side of the plot. So I'll show you them, and as I mentioned, we've got some golden raspberries, so we'll pick a few of those as well. So yeah, I hope to see you again next week. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.